Okay, this is just a quick update to the development process here. As you can see, I have switched from first person to third person with the addition of a character model. I actually made it so you can switch between first person and third person mode on startup, but I have to adapt that so it can be done on the fly in game. I'm probably going to add a menu pretty soon, just to be able to switch between those two modes and then add new stuff to it as things develop. The jetpack is now tied to a jet fuel meter. I've also got the option to switch it on and off between whether or not it can recharge. Still got the power up for the mega mode in here. I think I want to switch the power up item. I don't know what I want it to look like. Honestly, these power ups are just temporary assets, just because I kind of want to tie it to like the shrine. So as you can see, I've actually got the jetpack asset pre-built. All of this is just temporary. This isn't the resolution that I want him to be at. I want him to be way more robotic. I just haven't gotten around to modeling all that. I did something really quick. And I'm actually pretty amazed at just how incredibly well Mixamo has been able to rig this character that is not optimized at all for animation. It really is a godsend. I've never seen anything quite like it. I mean, the best auto rigger I've used so far, besides that, is in Maya, the auto skinning feature. Of course, it doesn't auto rig for you. You got to build the skeleton and stuff. So, and even that is not nearly as good as Mixamo is. So I don't know what kind of magic Adobe is using or why they even made it free, but the fact that it just does it in a couple minutes and it looks amazing and it works with a bunch of motion capture animations that I don't have to, go through and animate a bunch of stuff. I did adjust like these animations here for the flying. I actually took some swimming animations and adjusted them. And just how easy it is to just adjust different joints and stuff and still keep that motion capture data from Mixamo. It's pretty amazing. As you can see, I've got these animations for the dive bombs. I've got trees now, just my own palm trees that I modeled, textured. These are really, right now, the only plants with like collisions enabled. So we can sort of hit them and not go through them. Nice. I do want like most of these plants to be able to like actually run through. I've also updated the rage mode so that there is this sort of flames coming off of you. They're not quite great yet. As you can see, the fire is not so realistic. Just what I've been able to do now. It looks a lot better when you're standing still, but there was a problem when like rushing like this. The particles are flying off of him, and it looks kind of cool, but the problem is that these particles are coming up and they're flying right into the camera, and they're flying up in the air too. They don't look very good when they're flying up above him, and that's just due to the velocity with which he's moving. So in fact, there was a problem where it was a lot worse, and it was flying up into the camera, and I had to actually, program it to basically kill off the particles that are coming too close to the camera. It still doesn't look great, but like I'm getting some lag here. But The Katana right now is just superficial. It really, there's no attacks built yet. I have built a bit of a weapon system, but it's mainly oriented towards guns, actually, which I wanted to implement into this. I just haven't figured out how I want to do it yet. Oh, and there you go. You can see one of the problems that I've been trying to correct recently is with the dive bomb. Because of the way the dive bomb was programmed, it really, there's a problem, there's a bug where if you're too high up and you launch yourself at the right angle, you can actually fly across the map. And it used to be that if you did it the right way, you would accelerate infinitely. Because the longer the dive bomb happens, the faster you basically get launched. And you can see, if you look up in the top left corner, you can see the dive bomb indicator, which is still just for testing purposes. You can see how many times it's accelerating. It used to be infinite. I put a cap on it, but it still will occasionally launch you all the way off into the distance at the edge of the map. And I don't want people to get up here to this top peak here and then launch themselves off and find themselves completely off the map. Because it is a huge map. It's just, right now the fastest way to get around is with this dive bomb. The other thing is, what was I going to say? Right, so I'm building some shrines. Well, I've already built a lot of different assets, Japanese themed and all that. Torii gates, roofs, temples, gazebos, you know, that kind of shit. I have yet to import it or get it optimized for the game engine. But pretty soon I want to, once I start building the attacks out, I want to start building these temples, or at least one prototype temple, just to see if I can also build some NPCs. So once the NPCs are there, I can get them to guard the temple basically, and then set a timer for, once you have conquered the temple, you get the jetpack power or the rage power. I want to add the teleporting shuriken pretty soon. That's going to be probably one of the most challenging powers to program, and honestly I don't think it's going to be too hard, but I already have an animation for the shuriken throw. I just need to be able to, have it launch and then teleport to its current location. I don't think it's going to be that hard. You can see what a huge difference these trees make in terms of the overall atmosphere. It felt a lot more dead earlier. Just putting a bit of trees in here really makes a difference. There was a part over here, I've been working on sculpting this because I didn't really like how this area was. I think I want to put a temple over here. But as for this, there's a huge sandy area over here. Oh, there's also another problem with, like, stuff in the distance loads way too slowly. And part of it is I'm using world composition. I'm using a tiled landscape in Unreal, and at the moment I'm not actually sure how to fix that. When those outer tiles will load. But yeah, I've got this huge open landscape here. I don't know what to do with it yet, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Yeah, it's just this big open world, and but you can get around it pretty quickly. Yeah, I basically want it to be divided up into territories, kind of conquer the shrines, and fight with NPCs, and then have some awareness of who owns what, and be able to fight with them over those territories. And whoever ends up, taking over the entire map wins the game. Some different teams will be split up. I did end up figuring out kind of what I want for the 4th power. Besides the rage mode, jetpack, teleporting shuriken, I had the idea of setting up portals, and I wanted that to kind of be tied to one of the shrines. So once you take over that shrine, you get the ability to drop down portals on the map, and all those portals will lead back to the main shrine. But I figured that as far as movement speeds go, that one is very underpowered in terms of like offensive capabilities. So I thought about, like, once I introduce some NPCs, and I want some of them to be animals, because I've got this really good jungle animal pack that I found for free that I think I want to use just to save some time. But I think if you can just tame the animals and be able to use them for your own side, basically, I think that would give it some offensive capabilities. But yeah, the ability to drop down portals and basically make a connected web of essentially instant transport underground tunnels. Right now, even using the jetpack and stuff, I can run across the map pretty quickly, but that doesn't really compare to being able to just drop down a teleporter and get to the other side of the island in an instant. So yeah, I want there to be like drawbacks to different strategies. Anyway, before I head off, just wanted to add one more note about multiplayer in terms of, like, I'm going to add some multiplayer features. Probably either, definitely after I build the weapon system, but I think I want to start with the NPCs, because as far as multiplayer goes, I will need to set up a game server for that and get some friends to test it out with me. And I am not 100% on whether I'm going to be able to do that for free or not. Because I know there's definitely services like Amazon offers some stuff, and there's game servers out there, but most of them are paid. So it's pretty technical. I'm going to have to figure that out before I can actually get the multiplayer functionality going on. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.